popcorn, I know you need this medicine. Let's go.
What's going on, people? Welcome back to another great episode of Legacy, where we talk strictly male and PRP high school talk. Of course, you got your favorite two hosts of the most, Mark and Will. How you doing?
What's up? What's up?
We got a special one today.
Got a goodie.
We got a special one. We got a special guest with us. We got PRP's basketball head coach, Kihnley. Hope I said it right.
You got it.
Thanks for coming on the show.
Oh, thank you for having me.
What's up, Coach? I'm gonna tell you
Life
what.
is good, my friend.
I know it is, and it made ours even better. Just to get you on here to let everybody know, especially the Panther Nation.
Yes.
What's going on in the
Nation.
program?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, we always like to let everybody know exactly how'd you get into sports. Like what sport did you play growing up, and like when did you start playing sports?
Well, like every kid, in our neighborhood, you played everything. Baseball, football, everything. And my first love was football. I know y'all are Steelers and was Dallas fans. Well, I was the Vikings fan, man. Loved Chuck Foreman. Cried through 4 Super Bowls. Then I fell in love with baseball, man. Loved it all. Watched Hank Aaron hit 715, the whole thing. And then one day when I was at Conway, I was walking out of the gym, and this guy doesn't even know. This guy changed my life. A guy named Marcellus Chambers. He was the star of Conway's basketball team, and he was walking out in front of me one day, and I thought, I'm about as tall as he is, man. I should be able to play basketball. And from that day on, man, that's all I wanted to do, just basketball. So Marcellus Chambers, if anybody knows him, you changed my life.
Good stuff.
Oh, yes. And you said about Hank. I mean, what's your favorite baseball team? Pro.
I was a big Red Machine guy, man. I love the Reds, with Rose and Bench and him. I was a Rose fan, but loved Joe Morgan, Perez, the whole thing. So I was right there in the peak of all that.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, you talked about one of our team's favorite sons. So Atlanta Braves, Hank Aaron. So that's why I had to get that in there, Coach. I had to get that in there.
I was a big Hank guy. Loved Hank Aaron.
So playing different sports and stuff like that. So as you middle school, what did you play in middle school?
I only played basketball in any school setting, just basketball. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So big time basketball player.
Yeah.
So what year did you?
I wasn't a big time basketball player, but I loved it.
You know what? I saw the picture. We got the picture on there somewhere. So yeah,
that's my freshman year.
Okay. What year did you go to PRP? What year did you go to PRP?
I graduated from PRP in 81.
81.
81.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, man. So
Yeah.
as you playing sports, how did all of a sudden you decide you wanted to be a coach?
Right.
I started when I was young. I just loved the game, and then I met Dale Mabry, and we used to be where you couldn't coach your summer league team. So Dale asked me to coach the summer league team. So every year I would coach PRP's varsity, and I just fell in love with it. And I knew that was what I was going to do, man. I knew it was what I was going to do.
Okay. So what year did you start doing that?
Man, my first year of coaching summer league basketball was 81, 82. But my first year coaching in PRP, actually coaching here, was 83, 84.
Okay. Oh yeah, you was the thick of things. Oh my.
Yeah,
God.
Moses was like a sophomore point guard, I think, for us that year.
He's gonna like that.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna like that. Oh yeah. So when you was coaching, And also, you became like assistant coach for Coach Major.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, how many assistant coaches did y'all have? Was it just 2 coaches, 3 coaches, 4? I mean, how is that?
No, we had 4 coaches at the time,
Okay.
and then Coach Baxter, who Baxter and I have been together. Mike played for us in '84, and then he and I were really friends. So I asked him to come and start coaching, and then we've been together. You know, this is my 39th year. This 38th.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. Isn't it?
Wow.
Hey, man. Hey.
Program.
Hey, yes, got to salute you on that one, for real, for real.
Oh,
And
man. Forever.
It's
Forever.
many lives that you have touched
Yeah.
that walk them hallways and on that court. That's good stuff, for real, for real. So,
Appreciate that.
when did you become the head coach of PRP?
2 years ago, I never really wanted to be the head coach, had no aspirations to. Dale left, and then Mike started talking to me about doing it again, and so we just decided to do it. So, and here we are.
Oh, man, that's a beautiful thing, for real. Let me ask you this, since we talking about close to 40 years
Yeah.
at the same program, so you was around with, I mean, there's so much stuff.
There's a
So
lot of them.
what is some of the memories, like some of the, and I know you got plenty, but what is some of the best memories that you encounter as an assistant coach, everything at PRP?
You know, I tell everybody, we've been blessed. We've won a lot of games and a lot of championships, but the thing that I cherish the most is just the relationship we've had with the kids. You know, there's so many of them that are literally like our sons, and I mean, and they're just like family. And they come back, they see us, that they help the program out and everything, and it's amazing to me that we've been doing it this long, and then you see a kid, and you're thinking, they're 50 years old, but to me they're still 18 years old.
Yeah.
Years old. And they love that because I tell them, whenever you feel old, come back to PRP and be 18.
That's good stuff right there.
Yeah, 18 years old again. Yeah, they love that.
So coach, for PRP, the Panthers, for all the fans, what kind of style of ball do you play? What kind of offense and defense do you run?
I want us to play the way that if I was playing, I would want to be out there. I try to give them as much freedom offensively as they can. As long as we play hard, and we've got to guard. You have to guard to win. But play hard and have fun. I want them when it's over. I wanted them to say it was a great experience, and I was a part of something. Not just a high school team, but a program or a family.
Yeah, that's good stuff right there. So basically, you're a player's coach. Is that what you try to slide to me or what?
I would like to think I am.
Okay, that's good stuff right there. So let's go back some. So we know that we're coming towards the end, hopefully, of a pandemic, and we know it's still going to talk about COVID. So when the COVID hit, was you guys in the playoffs, or how did that affect your?
Well, we had just lost in the regional tournament in the semifinals, so it really didn't affect us that first year. But obviously, this past year it was crazy. I mean, it was you couldn't go in your locker room. You had to come and go and travel and no locker rooms. I mean, we were at one school. We're out trying to do halftime, and some ladies coming through ordering popcorn.
That's nuts.
So yeah, it was pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy.
Did y'all have any breaks? Like somebody might have tested.
No. We were blessed. We kept our varsity separate from everybody. We just tried to impress on the kids, like stay in your house, stay away from other people. We're always running a risk, but the kid, we've got wonderful kids, man, the greatest kids in the world, and they really bought in and did everything that we needed to do.
Okay. And speaking on that, tell us about your team. I mean, because I've seen some ballers, and the Mark and Will, you know what we try to do on Twitter and everything else. We try to follow as much as we can, PRP. You know what I'm saying? So, and guys, be a real show. So make sure y'all follow us back and that kind of stuff. But if you can, could you break down some of your players and actually all of them if you want to? This is PRP time.
You know, the guy that makes us go is Z McCowan, and I think the specialist, any kid that's ever played here. I mean, he's just got something about him. He's got that it factor. He led us in every statistic this year except rebounding, and if we needed him to, I believe he could have done that. You know, he's a great student. He's a great young man. You know, he's somebody you want to be your program. You know, and then we've got Vontae Harris, whose brother Lamontre paid for us, and he's coming on in leaps and bounds. Victor Lato, who's also 6'7", who's just a beast.
Wow. And
he's really getting better. And then we had a kid from DeSales, Keith Robinson, transfer in, who is he reminds me of Larry Bird. I mean,
come on, coach.
Yeah,
Larry Legend.
I mean, kid. Yes, he's got amazing savvy, great kid. You know, we've got Brandon Gatewood, who's a starter coming back for us.
Okay.
You know, Kurt Lemons, who had a great year for us last year. Brad Cole, who came to us this year from Trinity, who's an absolute warrior. I mean, just a tough kid. And then Alki Hamilton, who is probably our program's best athlete.
Wow.
And then we have Jacob, who hasn't this kid. I mean, was this year Jacob Dixon, who is 6'5", can jump out of the gym. He's a phenomenal track performer. And if he's not playing at some big time football school 2 years from now, something's wrong.
Wow.
And we also have the quarterbacks too. Tip Anderson, who is phenomenal. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we got a good squad.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Is it like, do you have like a lot of seniors, a lot of juniors? It's like a mixture, or
You know, we have a mix. We've got a lot. We're really junior heavy.
Okay.
But we've got 4 or 5 seniors that I think are going to do a good job. A kid I didn't mention was Chase Merle, who is just a really good role player, solid kid. So, you know, we'll lose those 5, but we'll be really strong again next year too.
Okay. Wow. That's some good stuff right there. Like I said, I've seen several of the players and that kind of stuff like that. Real good talent on your team, big time. Let me ask you this: like, I've been hearing more of people transfer. How's that working? Like, I mean, I know it ain't college. I mean, it's high school, but do they have to get clear a waiver or something to be eligible to play, or?
You know, they have to live in your resides.
Yeah.
Like, now there are schools that, that are maybe a private school that doesn't fall into that, and I don't know how like the traditional schools work, but it all goes by where you live. Now obviously when you're a freshman you can choose.
Yes.
But it's where you live. Yeah.
Okay. A lot of them come back home. A lot of them come back home.
Yeah. We've been a lot of our kids. We've had when you coach 40 years. We've coached some of our kids.
Wow.
And then, younger brothers,
Yeah.
Cousins, things of that nature. Z's mother, Latrice, I call her by her nickname, but Latrice, she played here and was a really good player.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Ooh-wee. I tell you what.
So it's kind of in their blood,
Yeah, without a doubt. So, like,
you're not Mark. It's in your blood, being a Panther.
Right.
Hey, and I'm gonna tell you what. Like I said, it's just so many people. Like I said, growing up with a family member that was a PRP player, so I used to hear stories and all this kind of stuff like that. So definitely rich with tradition. But let me ask you this. So now you guys are in summer league. So like.
Yes.
As a coach or the AD, do y'all get to pick where y'all going, or like how is that?
We do. We have certain places that we go each year, pretty much. You're always looking for talent and people that talented teams to play. We're playing this coming week. We'll play we're going to Collins here in a couple of weeks, which is a NCAA event.
Oh,
so the NCAA coaches can be there. Yeah. it'll be good. It'll really be good. Then we're playing. It's like a state AAU tournament in Lexington. We leave Friday for that.
Good. That's real good for real.
Yeah.
For real. I mean, that's and I love that because has that always like being that you've been there? Has that always been an option in the summer? I mean, like somebody like the whole team, or is that something that just came about? Or
Well, back in the dark ages when I first started coaching, they you got to remember I was coaching probably before you was alive. But they had leagues where you would play in your region, and we were the first team I think that started going out in the state and playing different teams. Yeah. So and I think it gives you a better perspective. Lets other people see your kids. You get to see other people's kids. So it's really nice. I enjoy. We've made a lot of good friends over that.
that's good.
A lot of good friends.
So over your 2 years of coaching, I know due to the pandemic and stuff like that, but is there a high school that you was like, they're going to be a problem every year we play them?
There's a lot of them, especially in our region. I think that, Coach Britt down at Western does a great job. The guy at Doss is phenomenal, super nice guy. And I think both of those do a great job. Of course, Fern Creek is always going to be good. Bullitt East. I mean, when you're in Louisville in the 6th and 7th region, there's always teams that are strong. I mean, you could take the 5th or 6th team in our region, take them out in the state, and they would be, really good. I know you had Coach Hayworth on, and I'd ask him, I said, what do you think the difference is? And he said, in the second region, you got like 3 teams that can beat you. And he said the rest of them, you're going to win. But he said in Louisville, you can play the 8th best team or 7th best team in the region, and they can knock you off.
Yeah.
And that's the truth. That's the truth.
You're right. Yeah. And that's something, like Mark and I always go back and forth, like as far as who is PRP's route. Who is your route?
It's funny. When we first started, it was Valley. Then it was Fairdale. We used to sell. I mean, I remember one time we came in here at 6 o'clock for the girls' game. It was sold out.
Wow.
You couldn't get in the gym. And then Butler. Then it picked up where Butler, I guess, is now. But I mean, a lot of people come in here ready to beat us. You got to tell the kids, man. You got to strap it on every day.
Yeah. I mean, because everybody knows. I mean, the history that PRP has and the success. I mean, you always want to beat the top dog, without a doubt.
Yeah.
You always, what I'm saying? And that's why them kids go to PRP. They're like, hey, we want to be coached, coached up and coached by the best and stuff like that and compete. So, and it sounds like, you got enough talent on your team that you're trying to make it, that they run the rock.
And I'd love to get back there again. It's great for the kids. Bax and I have been here forever. So. But for the kids, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Right.
When's the last time that PRP went to Rupp?
We were there in 13 and 14. Went back to back. Yeah.
Okay. Who were some of the star players on that team?
Lamontre Harris, D'Angelo Hunter, who's playing in would have been in the D League, but when the pandemic, they didn't get to do it. But those were our 2 best players then.
Okay. Thing about our show, we always like to throw curveballs, but this is kind of a special curveball since you've been there for a while. Could you give me a scouting report on Mark Woods?
Oh, and Durst was amazing. Amazing. He's one of those kids, people didn't realize how good he was. Mm-hmm. And then he went to Wright State, started for them, was second in the nation, steals and assists to Jason Kidd. Led him to the NCAA tournament, the quickest hands ever. I mean, and he had no weakness. Plus, hit clutch shots for us game after game after game. I mean, we got a few, and I'm going to call it this: bad breaks in the state tournament in his senior year, or we would have went back to.
He told us all about it.
Yeah, so you know what I'm talking about.
Believe me, if people have not seen that episode, it is a classic. You definitely got to watch that. It's on our channel, big time. I'm telling you.
Durst is my boy, man.
And Coach, when you was playing ball, what position did you play?
I was a forward.
Okay.
You know, back then, game wasn't like it is now. You know, and I wish it was, but I'd love it. And that's what I say. Like when I coach, we want our kids to be, have the freedom to do things. Back then, and you made a turnover, miss a shot, out.
Right.
Absolutely correct.
Yeah.
That's funny, bro. That is so true, right there.
Absolutely.
Man,
Amen.
That's something else. So, being, like I said, being there for a while and being a leader of young men, if you could speak to Panthers Nation about, like, what is your goal as far as when you're as the leader of the boys' best? What is your goal for these young men?
Just what you said. I want them to turn into, they're young men, and I want them to, grow as people. Two of my rules is, you're on time, and if we say be here at 10, if you're at 10, you're late. You're 15 minutes early. I tell them all the time, you're going to get a job, and somebody's going to get fired for being late all the time, and it ain't going to be you. And then just be honest with them. And the kids, we've been blessed in our program. We've had a lot of good kids. Kids that they say that we changed their lives, but they changed our lives too. But that's my goal, is for them just to be really, good young men.
Right.
And also, this piggyback off of what you said. So, if you got a player that got a little turnover, you keep them in the game.
I tell the kids, man, I try never to take them out after a turnover. Now, if you ever watch us play, like somebody said one time, like our kids will just get up and go to the table and check themselves in, because we tell them, like when we're coaching, I'll say like at 7 minutes, go get such and such. And then, and that might be with 8-9 minutes to go before then, and then so at 7 minutes they'll get up and go check themselves in. And somebody told me one time, well, your kids just put themselves in and out of the game. I'm like, no, that ain't happening. But so if they're at the table, but I try never to take a kid out after a turnover. I think that, they got to have that freedom to play.
You're right. You're absolutely right. So, and I keep on saying it, and don't get me wrong, Coach. I'm not trying to say because you've been there for a while. But you're seeing a lot of stuff as far as technology, exactly. So, back in the day, as far as I'm pretty sure you guys doing film work and different stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you had to say the biggest change from, we'll say, the 80s, the 90s to the 2000s, what are some of the biggest changes that you have witnessed?
Well, first off, my daughter tells me all the time. She says, Dad, you're not getting film from people. You're getting a video.
Right. Hey, I get that too, Coach. I get that too.
Film, man. It was a gigantic TV, a VCR, tapes.
Yeah.
Now you want to trade a tape. You just say, hey, Mark, send me a tape of the game of such and such, and I'm watching it on my phone, which is crazy. I can sit there in the hallway and watch a game. It's crazy.
Right.
That's been the most amazing thing. And the kids. I had Coach Baxter and his daughter here tonight, because I'm like, do I know what I got to hit on this thing? I barely answer the phone and text.
Coach is crazy.
Hey, Coach, that's what I told you. I was like, let's send a link, but I understand. That's good.
Man, hey. And that's why I was early, man. I told you, I'm early. I don't want to be late, man. I don't want to be late, brother.
You're good. So, that's a classic right there, for real. So, as this has come about, the videos and stuff like that, so, I know, a lot of football, they definitely utilize a lot of that video and have a certain day and stuff like that. So, do you implement that as far as, y'all breaking down videos to the kids, or are the kids doing it by themselves?
We do it a little bit, if we want to show a kid something. But we've got one of our assistants, Coach Chanko, and backs. They watch a lot of film.
Okay.
And here's another thing, man. You're talking about it, Mark. Somebody will give us a scouting report, man. It's all DVD, all this stuff. Ours is written on the back of some math paper. Mike, are you serious? But man, that's how we do it, man.
Right.
You might get a scatter report and learn some algebra at the same time.
Hey,
Yeah.
that's good. Hey, it's been working.
Right.
That's it, man. You're actually we always been working, so you know why change. That's just the way we are.
Oh yeah, big that time. So
Yeah.
also, so legendary Coach Dale, what is some of the things that you basically learn and utilize from him?
You know, just I would say being dedicated to it, being dedicated to what we do. You know, when I first started, I was young, and he was very, as Durs would tell you, you know, we were probably crazy back then, crazier. But, you know, just being focused on what we were doing, details, things of that nature. You know, the discipline of the game.
That's good. Yeah, I mean, like I said, that rich history and all that kind
Right.
of stuff. And like I said, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And you guys have been
Amen.
rocking and rolling with that for sure. How's your who coaches the freshmen? Y'all got a freshman team, right? Who's the coach of that?
Yeah, Andrew Chonko does. He came to us from Valley High School. He's originally from Ohio, and he's done a really good job with them. He's very patient. You know, and he's not had a kid quit really since he's been here, which is a good thing. I think he's good with the kids. He teaches them stuff, and you know, our whole thing is trying to get them ready for the varsity. You know.
Yes. So are you coaching the summer league or assistant coaches coaching the summer league?
You know, we've always coached the summer league. Once we got to, you know, we've had our whole staff. Even when Dale was here, me, him, and Mike. Right now, me and Mike do it. You know, and I mean, I would coach JV if we still could. I love to coach. You know, and I know Bax is the same way. You know, we just love to coach.
As a coach and actually a former player, do you sometimes look at your team and be like, okay, like identify that player that, you know, he might be a good coach one day?
Yeah, you know, we have, and it's odd that we haven't had more kids get into it. We had a kid this past year, Austin Dant, who I would love for him to get into it, but he just, you know, he's getting into. I think he's going to be a pipe fitter or something.
Okay.
And but he had a really good mind for it. You know, like Durs would be great. You know, but people get into, you know, they get families, they get jobs, and because of that, they don't have the time to commit to it. You know, and you know this, you coach. It's a grind.
Yeah.
You know, it's a long grind.
Yeah, that's true. That's absolutely true. So, Mark, what year did you come out of PRP?
05.
05.
05, you're a youngster, man.
05.
Young.
05. So, who was on that 05? And I hate to do you like this, Coach. If you remember, who was on 05 that was a baller?
Let's see. 05 would have been Jazz, Juwan.
Neil.
Yeah. Jazz, man, could shoot the thing.
Lefty.
I'm gonna give you another one, Mark. You might have been there. Here's another tough break. Jazz at the buzzer shoots a jumper from the corner. Now he's 80-some% from the foul line, and he shoots an air ball in the second overtime. It's the air ball.
Foul.
Wow.
And we don't, no call. We go into overtime.
That's
Second overtime.
Dude.
Who was y'all playing against, Coach?
We were playing South Florida in the state tournament.
Oh, that's all you had to say. I mean, yeah. I mean, you know that. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
But
Yeah, big.
Jazz was a great player for us, man. I mean, smooth as silk. Went on to be a college All-American. At McHenry, played at Rockhurst, had a great college career. Great career for us. I'm looking at a picture right over there, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's there too.
That's good stuff.
Jazz could go, man. He could go. And Juwan was amazing. Fastest guy I've ever seen with a basketball.
Oh my goodness.
He was a rocket. What, am I right, Mark? Was he a
Yeah,
rocket?
dude. Hey,
Yeah.
he's lightning quick.
Oh man, lightning quick.
That's good stuff, though. That is good. And I love how I'll throw a date out and you like, Ding.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yes.
That's real good stuff. So, okay. So, let me ask you this. Are you into, you know how they say positionless basketball? Because we know how in high school, you know, not everybody's got a 7 foot or 6'10"
Right.
center and all this kind of stuff. So, like, if you had to describe your team as far as, like, do you have a tradition? I know you got some height, but do y'all play like a center, 2 forwards, 2 guards, or 3 or 4 guards? Or
Well, I'll tell you this: when they came up with this positionless basketball thing, like it was something new,
it's been like
ask
that.
any high school coach.
Thank
We've been
you.
positionless basketball forever.
Thank you.
I mean, it's just whatever. I mean, you know, if you can play, if you can score inside, you're inside. You're a guard. Just whatever, man. You're right. That's what you are. Yeah. So no, positionless basketball has been forever. You know,
Yeah.
the high school coach, it's been forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amen. Amen to that.
Hey, give me the best 5 out here. Let's rock and roll.
Right.
That's how you do it, man. I don't care what you are. But get the best ones out there. Let them compete. Give me 5 guys that compete.
That's right. That's all it's about, for real, for real. That's good stuff, though. That's
Amen.
a classic,
Amen.
coach. Okay. Well, I'm gonna tell you what we're gonna do. Actually, like I told you, we talked about the journey and everything like this, but we also have fun on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you haven't seen the show, we're gonna have some fun. So I'm gonna.
I've already been having fun.
Love it.
Hey.
Love it.
Hey, I know you you got to invite us to a practice so we can see you rock roll, because I know you a
Hey,
handful.
brother. Come
I
on.
know you a
man.
handful, coach.
Come on. Anytime you want to come on.
I got you. So look, what we're gonna do? I'm gonna bring up this page and a scene, and I'm gonna have to bring you back on. But this stay right there. I control everything right here, so we're good. So
Okay.
let me go to, let's see. I'm scrolling. Okay.
You got it.
Yeah, I got it. Here we go. Bring Coach back on. All right, Coach. We got a thing that we do on here. We like bring different players. So right now we have franchise player, all-star player, stat player. Basically, you ranking these players. We just came up with a name. So right now, off the top, you have Trae Young, you have LaMelo Ball, Ja Morant. Who is the franchise player, meaning the best, all-star player second, stat player being third?
You know, I would say the all-star player, and I know a lot of people would argue this one, I think Morant is the guy. I really do. You know, I was blessed to be able to coach LaMelo's brother, Lonzo, in the McDonald's game. So I'm kind of, you know, I like him. But, you know, right now, I think he's more of a stat guy.
Mm-hmm.
But I missed my thing here. Morant, to me, would be the franchise player.
Franchise player, okay.
Yeah. And then Young he surprised me getting him to the playoffs and what he's been doing.
Yeah.
You know, he's made me more of a believer. But I think that LaMelo, I think he might be the star of all of them eventually. Right now, no.
Now you're right. And I'm going to tell you what, and I'm glad you brought that up, because I was going to forget about that. Tell us real quick, as we got this on it, please tell us, because I saw some pictures of you with some McDonald's All-American. I guess you was a coach at one. What year was that, and what city was it?
It was 2016, and we were in Chicago.
Wow.
One of the most amazing things. I wish every high school coach could do that. It was unbelievable. Total first class event. We were blessed. We had a great group of guys. I mean, a great group of guys. Lonzo, Frank Jackson, Josh Jackson, Kyle Guy. I mean, you know, just a great group of kids.
Yeah, you know what?
Awesome.
And that is a, excuse my French, that's a hell of an honor.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes. It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable.
That's great. So I'm glad you brought, because I saw those pictures. I was like, and I was trying to cut and slice and put things on there. But hey, that just let you know how your profession respects you, and to get you in there and do that, man. Hey, that's great. That's great.
It was really fun, man. We had our whole staff there. It it was amazing. And just being around the kids, everything you ever dreamed about that game is true.
I love it. I love it.
It's true, man.
All right. So, Coach, we got another one we're going to bring up for you.
Okay, get on me.
All right. Best dunker.
Oh, we're going old school.
Yeah, best dunker. 50, 45,
All right, man.
40.
I'm going to break some hearts with this one.
Okay.
The best in-game dunker in the history of basketball is Vince Carter. Vince Carter did stuff in games people couldn't do in a dunk contest. That man was amazing.
Half man, half amazing.
Yes.
Oh, and then, I got to go. Jordan used to just put it on. And I love Dominic Wilkins as a dunker. But the guy that ought to be on there is Sean Kemp. In game. Sean Kemp, the Rain Man. Oh, dude. He used to do some crazy stuff.
Coach, hey. Made people cry on the court. Yes, sir.
And I'm going to tell you, you're missing one. My two favorite players of all time, Dr. J and Daryl Griffin. And them two right there, baby. Doing things before anybody ever dreamed of.
Yeah, elevated.
Yes.
What'd you think about David Thompson?
I like David Thompson, but being a Griff guy, man, there's a guy I argue with all the time on Facebook. He loves David Thompson, and I break his heart because I say he had a 44-inch vertical. Griff had a 48.
Yeah.
So Griff was amazing.
Special.
360s in games.
Special.
Oh man, loops backwards. I mean, the man.
Coach, look. One of the memories I love of Dr. J. Remember when he sized up Cooper?
Oh man, rock the baby, man. Come on now. Do I remember it? I'm a dunk guy.
Hey, that is one of the best classics dunks of all time in games. Sized them up, Mark. I don't know if you remember. I don't think you were born with that, baby. That was good.
Rock the baby, man.
All right,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We're great. We're gonna move to the next one for you. Let me see who we have.
He rocked the baby on him in the game.
Yes.
Oh, in the game.
In the game.
On his head.
Yes. Size them up.
Oh yeah.
All right, we got the shooters, Coach. We got Reggie, Steph Curry, Ray Allen, franchise player, all-star player, stat player, first, second, and third. What you got, Coach?
All right. I think Curry changed the game of basketball. Not a lot of people have done that. Wilt, Kareem, Dr. J, Jordan, but I think Curry has changed the game. And I'm going to come back to my man Z McCowan. That he can do for a college team what Curry does. You look at Z, and I'm telling you right now, that's my man. Yeah, I'm a Curry guy.
So you saying his range is unlimited?
Oh, Z could, man, it's crazy. Z's hit like 3 shots from the top of the other circle. Yeah,
Coach.
It's
Now,
crazy.
Coach, hold on. Coach, you have my cell phone number. I expect a call for us to come out and watch these practice something, Coach, because hey, for real, when you saying that,
come on out.
That's good. I love that.
Right.
I love that.
Yeah.
So you got Curry as your franchise player, right?
Curry's my franchise. Miller's my all-star,
Yes, sir.
and Allen's my stat guy. Allen was a great role player,
He was.
and Miller was the man at Indiana, but Curry.
You hit it. You hitting it big time. I mean, big time. So this is a special one I did for you, Coach.
Uh-oh.
Hold on, I'm gonna have to change this option right here so we can get this crop.
All right.
There we go. Head coach, associate head coach, assistant coach. We got Phil Jackson. We got Red Auerbach. We got Rowley. 1, 2, and 3.
I think people don't give Auerbach the credit that he gets because the game is so different now. But this is a guy who people don't realize this is a guy who traded an all-star to get Russell. And Russell, the all-star went to St. Louis. That's where the pick came from. and they won a championship, and everybody was like, "Oh, Red did wrong," and then Russell took over.
Yeah.
So to me, Red's got to be the head coach, and I'm saying my associate head coach has got to be Riley, just because of the success that he's had as a GM, as a coach, and he changed the game a little bit himself. And then Phil's great, man. Phil's great.
Yeah.
Phil's great.
That's good. Hey, way to break that down for real.
Yeah, absolutely. He broke that down.
That's good stuff right there, Coach, for real. So,
And Phil would probably be the first to tell you, you gotta have talent to win.
the first one, you're absolutely right. So, Coach, as we dwindle on down on the interview, we always give people an opportunity to thank people, how they got started, their family member, talk whatever. This is your time to talk about whatever you want to talk about. If you want to talk about fishing, you want whatever. But if you want to give thanks to people, whatever you want to do, it's your time.
You know, the person that I'm most that my life is the way it is my mother. You know, I lost my mom years ago to cancer, but you know, everything I am is her. You know, the person I am. You know, you can ask any of the guys that play for us. This killed me in the past. I'm a physical guy. I'm a hugger. You know, I tell the kids, if every kid's played for us, I told them I love them, and I mean that. You know, and that comes from my mom. You know, just being passionate about the people around you, treating people the right way. You know, loving the people around you, and that would be my thing, man. My mama was it. You know.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. First of all, I really, you know how like when you text people or you research things, like you enthuse like so much excitement. You know what I'm saying? Like even like when you was like retweeting the stuff, you just so much energy, so much positive stuff, man. I tell you, you know, and I'm like, Mark, I cannot wait to this interview. I mean, like he's ready. He is ready.
I appreciate that.
And being former athlete, get what you want to play for. You want a coach that's gonna be like, you know, not like no, you want to be in there.
Yep.
You know, you want to feel love. You want all that excitement. You want all that, like, we're going together, fighting this together. You know what I'm saying? And you building up players and doing all that good stuff, man. Like I said, this the little, even in the conversation, you know, that we had, you know, talking about the show and getting on this, I see why PRP is in great hands and has been in great hands because it's a family culture.
Well, and that's one of the things we try to do. You know, and I mean, I'm just as much, I love Mark Wood just as much as I love, you know, Keith Robinson's new to our program. You know, I mean, and I feel like if you don't believe in your kids, nobody's going to. You know, and I want our kids to know when they walk on the floor, man, our coaching staff is behind them 150%. And I tell them all, man, if you come to one of our practices, like I might be on a kid, but you know, I'm walking over telling him I love him after practice. You know, hug him, give him a high five, whatever, you know, because that's what, again, I think that's the way it should be. And people, I think, as coaches, we get too much wrapped up in winning sometimes instead of, like, developing the young man and letting the kid know you love him, you know. That's a big thing, you know.
It is.
You hit it right on the head. That's a great thing. And knowing that you have a coach there for you, you know what I'm saying? Because not everybody's blessed to come from a great or good family system at home.
Amen.
And
Amen.
so when you can go to practice, when you can go to school and feel some love that you probably never had or didn't get, I mean, hey, man, that's a blessing. So like I said, and I said it before, I mean, the great culture and things you're doing there, no wonder it breeds success. And
well,
you know,
I appreciate it, Will.
Hey, that's what it's about, you know. And we really appreciate you for joining us today. Tell what's your assistant coach that's there?
Coach Baxter.
Coach Baxter, hey, we coming for you too.
There you go. You need to get him on here.
We go for you too.
Now,
but I mean, you know,
he's not as good looking as me though, but that's okay.
Hey, coach is
You know,
nuts.
and the thing about it is, coach, you know, like we said off air, you know, that's the reason why we did the show, the love of our school. That, you know, we're trying to touch every sport that's in the school, even from administrators and things like that, because, you know, it takes a village to raise, you know what I'm saying? And you guys are doing it there, and we appreciate everything you've done and doing, and just keep up the great work. Not good work, great work.
PRP is there's no place like it. We've got a new principal, Sherry Duff, who is absolutely amazing. You know, you're talking about other sports. Megan Miller, our softball coach, just did a phenomenal job. Our new baseball coach, Brad Burns, did an amazing job. Watching both of those teams out, I mean, we're blessed to have a lot of good people here. A lot of good people here.
And we coming for them. We're going to interview. We coming for them now.
Hey,
you know, we going to come for them. And let me ask you this. Who is the athletic director?
Nick Waddell. Nick is, and I know everybody says it's best guy in the world, best AD. I tell them all the time, he makes every coach here think their sport is the best thing here. He's great. He's 50% behind you.
You said Nick. You said Nick
Waddell.
Nick Waddell. I want to thank him because he actually reached out to you and was able to get you on here.
Yep.
And we're going to have the ADs on here from PRP and Mel. Definitely got to show them love because there's so much work they do.
Let me throw this one out at you. Nick's dad, Randy Waddell, was AP Player of the Year at the senior in '71. Two-time All-Stater, 60 points in a game, still stands. And I mean, Nick's sister coached here, teaches here. Nephew just graduated. Niece was the best volleyball player. I mean, it's on and on. The Waddell family's amazing.
Got it. Coach, I got it. I'm going to get him on there, Coach. Calm down.
Yes,
Mark, I get wound up.
All right, man, I'm going to tell you what, man. For real, Coach, this has been one of the best interviews, man. I just love you.
Thank you, man. I've enjoyed it.
Kind of stuff. And
you all do an amazing job. Amazing job.
Appreciate
it. God bless you and everything you do and your team. And definitely we're going to come out and support you guys. And
hey, brother, anytime y'all want to come out, you let me know.
I got you,
yes,
Coach.
Sir.
Hey, salute to you, Coach.
Have a blessed one,
brother. Appreciate y'all. Bless y'all.
Popcorn, I know you need this medicine. Let's go.